Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Coronavirus records are shattered across parts of Illinois and Wisconsin. One state-line school district forms a plan of action to prevent an uptick of cases over an upcoming break. Winnebago County voters are faced with what some call a confusing question this election. We break down the county executive ballot item. Plus, election judges ensure every vote gets counted. There's a shortage for many in a group stepping up to fill the role. It's also their first time they've been allowed to vote. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Thanks for being here. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. Illinois passes 9,000 total coronavirus-related deaths. Health officials expect that number to grow as a result of large gatherings over the holidays. Administrators with the Harlem School District share that same concern. Alexis Carpello joins us live ahead of a district meeting tonight. Alexis, what's the board expected to discuss?
Eric, the Harlem School Board is planning to decide on whether or not to switch to remote learning later this fall. If approved, students would learn from home from November 30th through January 15th. As the holiday season approaches, administrators expect families to attend more parties and travel, and say the change is an option to keep students and staff safe. Board members say the decision is being held now in order to give families plenty of time to plan if the proposal is approved.
With families getting together for Thanksgiving and Christmas. The concern is that if anybody's traveling outside of the region or bringing people in from outside of the region where they have a higher rate, then the cases are going to go even higher. So we would like to be proactive for the sake of the children.
The Harlem School Board is planned to vote on that proposal in just about an hour. I'll have that update coming up tonight at 9 and 10 on Eyewitness News. But reporting live in Rockford, in McChesney Park for your home team, I'm Alexis Carpello.
Alexis, thanks for the preview. We'll talk to you again later tonight. Several state-line schools plan to continue online learning as Region 1 of Illinois continues to hold a high COVID-19 positivity rate. It's at 9.6 today. That marks the 16th day above 8%. State health officials say they can increase restrictions if the rate doesn't improve. Joe Davis County has the highest in the area at nearly 11%. Lee, Winnebago, and Boone counties are over 10%. Whiteside is over 9%. DeKalb, Stevenson, and Ogle counties are not far behind. Carroll County has the lowest in the region at just under 5%. Across the border, Rock County's positivity rate sits at 65%. That's actually down from yesterday's 83%. Right now, the county has over 940 active cases. In all, almost 3,500 cases of COVID have been confirmed in Rock County. Nearly 2,500 of those people have recovered. 36 have died since the start of the pandemic there. State-line first responders are set to honor the life of one of their own. Tonight, the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office and other law enforcement agencies will escort Deputy Chief Don Gasparini Jr. It starts at 8. The procession will start at the coroner's office, travel south on Church Street, cross the river on Chestnut, then head north on 2nd Street to Forest Hills Road, then Riverside, and down Traynor. It ends at the Cremation Society of Illinois on Weaver Road in Rockford. The Sheriff's Department encourages the community to show support by lining the procession route. Deputy Chief Gasparini passed away unexpectedly Sunday. Police are called to a Rockford hospital after a shooting victim drives himself there. Investigators say it happened around 8 last night. Officers were called after a 19-year-old man shot in the leg showed up for treatment. Police say the man was driving down Guilford Road when a suspect pulled up next to him and pulled the trigger. The victim is doing okay. Police are still investigating. Police search for suspects after a pair of shootings on the same block less than a day apart. This happened on Overdene Avenue near Huffman Boulevard. The first took place Sunday night when officers located spent shell casings in a parking lot. Around the same time, a man with gunshot wounds walked into a hospital. Police believe he was hurt at that scene. The second shooting took place early Monday morning. Police say a woman and her friend were walking when she was shot in the foot. Both incidents are under investigation. All 3 cases are part of a string of shootings reported since Sunday. A total of 6 during that time have left 5 people hurt. Other incidents took place on Brown Avenue, Coliseum Drive, and Auburn Street. This election day, Winnebago County voters will be faced with a yes or no question on the ballot. It asks about switching to a county executive form of government. Dylan Siraki joins us with a breakdown on what the change would mean. Eyewitness News is your local election headquarters.
One of the last questions on the ballot for Winnebago County voters asks about switching to a county executive form of government. I talked to local leaders on both sides of the issue to find out what a yes or no vote would mean. Currently, Winnebago County operates as a township government, meaning the authority to make decisions largely lies with the county board. A no vote on this year's referendum would keep this system in place. A yes vote would establish a new executive position, someone who would have certain responsibilities protected by state statute. Current board chairman Frank Haney supports the change. He argues there is no system of checks and balances right now.
The county board, a group of 20 people, like the General Assembly at the state level and Congress at the federal level, they should be a legislative body, not a managing or executive body.
But District 7 board member Paul Arena disagrees. He argues the current township structure ensures no one individual has too much power.
In that form of government, you're less likely to get extreme decisions or extreme changes because it takes a majority of the 20 to take action. Whereas under the executive form, one person on their own is able to make certain decisions that could affect everybody.
Both Haney and Arena agree one point of confusion for voters is the use of the phrase home rule on the question.
No matter how people vote on this, it won't change our status for home rule. If we wanted home rule, it would have to be a separate ballot initiative.
Whether you vote yes for the county executive or you vote no, it has nothing to do with home rule. And Winnebago County is not a home rule county today and will not be the day after the election, regardless of outcome.
In Winnebago County, for your home team, I'm Dylan Saraki.
COVID concerns have many voters mailing ballots for the first time this year, and local election offices say the process is running smoothly. The Winnebago County clerk says more than 2,000 ballots have been placed in drop boxes within the first couple of weeks of early voting. The drop box is located outside the county administration building. Ballots are collected several times every day. Registered voters have until October 29th to request a vote-by-mail ballot. State line educators are using the upcoming election as a teaching moment, and some students are using the day as a resume booster. Michelle Rave checked in with a group of the county's youngest election judges.
There's still a need for election judges for the November election. One Rockford school is making sure its students get involved. Rockford Lutheran School is helping motivate its juniors and seniors to become involved in the upcoming election. Government and economics teacher Steve Vaughn says it's important to get young people familiar with the voting system. He encouraged students in his class to take the opportunity to become election judges. Overall, 14 juniors and seniors signed up and say they're eager to learn from the opportunity.
I'm hoping to understand more of the voting aspect because I've learned about it in 8th grade, but I don't really remember it that much, so it's a good opportunity to learn about how the voting system works and how people go and vote.
It's very historical, very momentous. It's very in the moment. It feels good to be a part of something that's big.
We have information on how you can become an election judge on mystateline.com. Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
Rockford's airport is set to expand its buildings as well as the local job market. RFD broke ground on a 90,000 square foot cargo facility. Airport administrators say the extra room is needed for an increase in cargo operations. The airport's director of operations says the new facility will also be home to several companies looking to hire.
Our air cargo side with Amazon, UPS, Senator Emery, these guys are all hiring. So, it's one of those things where as we're going through a weird world right now, knowing that there are opportunities for employment, always consider the airport.
Oakley says construction should be complete by next summer.
Now, your first warn weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
I have to say a big thank you to Stephen Dittmar for sharing this beautiful fall picture along the Rock River. You've got the Black Hawk statue, the beautiful fall colors. Although those leaves blowing around quite a bit as we've had some pretty gusty winds. You see the flag here out at the Park Hills Golf Course out in Freeport, flapping in that southwesterly wind, at times gusting close to 35 miles per hour. Sustained winds coming in, now shifting around to the west and northwest as that cold front has kind of passed through northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. Still sustained from about 15 up to 20 miles per hour. And we still have some wind gusts nearing that 30 mile per hour range, getting a little over that in Janesville. Good news, over the next couple of hours, those winds will begin to subside just a little bit and won't be quite as gusty here as we go through the night tonight. Now, we are actually going to have some pretty windy days ahead. Tomorrow, winds could pick up even more, 35 to 40 miles per hour. Thursday, Friday, coming down just a little bit, but not that much, 30 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts. And on Saturday, we could have some winds once again gusting close to that 40 mile per hour range. Now, why has it been so windy? The weekend was a little windy yesterday, today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Well, we have to look at what is going on up above. We've actually had some really strong winds in our jet stream, just several thousand feet above. And within that wind, our jet stream, I should say, winds have been upwards of 60 to 90 miles per hour. We're actually able to transfer some of that energy and that wind down here at the surface because we've had the sunshine. And what that sun does is allows our atmosphere to mix. Think of it as a pot of water on the stove. When it boils, you get the mixing that takes place. So that's what the sun acts. It's our stove. It kind of heats things up. So our atmosphere begins to mix. So those stronger winds that are found in the jet stream up above, they're able to transfer down here at the surface, and that's why we've had those gusty winds. And the reason we're going to see those winds continue these next several days is because that jet stream pretty much lies right overhead. Now, another thing that is going to do is allow these storm systems to kind of move through, but in a relatively fast fashion. So that's why we don't have too much of a weather impact as far as rain or thunderstorm from this, because those winds are moving fairly quickly. One low pressure system passing through now, which has allowed that cold front to come in. Next one for tomorrow, moving into the northwest. This will bypass us to our north tomorrow, but again, allow those winds to pick up. 69 our temperature in Rockford, 64 in Freeport, 63 in Monroe, and we're currently at 68 degrees right now in Rochelle. As we go through the night tonight, we will hang on to that clear sky. But as that storm system over the northwest moves closer to us, it'll once again draw a warm front through. This one actually has a little bit more moisture, so we'll see the cloud cover increase for tomorrow and end up with more cloud cover tomorrow than what we've had for today. So mostly cloudy skies. Another cold front comes in. As it does, slight chance for a passing shower overnight Wednesday into Thursday, but temperatures will really drop as we head towards Thursday morning. 43 degrees, that's where we end up for the night tonight. Clouds will increase back up to 71 though for tomorrow afternoon. Southwesterly winds will be gusting in at about 35 miles per hour. 55 on Thursday, some rain showers Friday, 53. We could see a little bump in the number on Saturday. Lower 50s possible. Next week gets a little interesting with a couple of storm systems moving in Sunday and Monday of next week.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
The Bears have a lot of goals going into Carolina on Sunday. The biggest one is to establish the run game again. Over the last two games, they've rushed for 63 yards total. They dropped to 27th overall in the league in rushing. Matt Nagy believes the run game will come back around.
I have a lot of faith in our run game. I really do, and different ways of how we're going to get back to it. I feel good about that. There's no panic at all. I know that for me that part's exciting to figure out ways to get it back on track, because that's ultimately going to help our offense.
Well, the Packers are fresh off their bye week and ready to roll Sunday in Tampa. Matt LaFleur says the off week went well, but he'd have preferred the bye week had come later in the season.
We've got a big stretch in front of us. I mean, it's going to be anytime you have that early bye, it makes for a longer season, and certainly the competition, specifically with Tampa Bay coming up. I mean, they're as good as any team I feel in the league.
Well, the Bears play at noon Sunday. The Packers-Buccaneers game will be at 3:25, and it's a Fox doubleheader Sunday. That means we'll be bringing you both games on Fox 39. Many people want the Chicago Blackhawks to change their name. There's been a huge reminder of that to anyone who's passed by the United Center in the past 30 hours. The Blackhawks statue outside the UC was vandalized. Orange paint was dumped on it. The words "Land Back" were also painted on the base of the statue. The statue will be soon sent out for repairs. The Blackhawks insisted this summer that they are not going to change the team's name. Instead, they said they are determined to raise awareness of Chief Blackhawk and the contributions of Native Americans.
Windy these next couple of days as our temperatures will stay in the 70s, dropping into the 50s by the weekend. Could see a couple of snowflakes mix in though early next week.
No, thank you. Thanks for spending some time with us. Stay safe.